مساء الخير، أنا هيثم طيب. يسعدني حقيقي إنه أنا أجاوب على تساؤلاتكم وأكون موجود بينكم. It makes a great deal of difference when your CV contains research with international researchers. It's harder than inside research, but في عدة طرق that you can actually participate in international research even though you're inside the kingdom. The first is to work with us local researchers. The Faculty of Medicine and the King Abdulaziz University and many of us have international outlook and we collaborate with international researchers. على سبيل المثال, in the Department of Neurology in Rabil, we're collaborating with an international researcher from NYU and we've published a lot with him. Many of our students actually worked with me and with him and were able to go to NYU and work in his lab and have benefited a great deal and were on publication. فبالتالي look for those among us who are looking to do research with international researchers and do research with them. Join the team. في الجامعة there are collaborations with what we call adjunct professors, many of whom are highly cited researchers. في الجامعة there are collaborations with what we call adjunct professors, many of whom are highly cited researchers. These researchers come to Jeddah and work with local researchers, and you will get a chance to meet many of them if you look and ask and keep. Programs like this are well funded, and the university has paid a lot of money, and we might as well make use of it. So that's the first way to get international research published, is to work with local researchers working with international research. One additional way is to use your summer and go on research electives and work with some of these people in their lab. It obviously helps when there's prior collaboration, when someone introduces you to these researchers abroad, but don't be shy, even if you don't know them. You can simply look in the area of your interest, get to know the research, get to know the names, and then email whoever you're interested in working with. People are typically interested in working with talented individuals, so if you know exactly what you want and you're crystallized, if you're succinct and you have a crystallized research question and research ideas and opportunities and you're oriented, you can get them easily interested. If you're succinct and you have a crystallized research question and research ideas and opportunities and you're oriented, you can get them easily interested. But I would generally advise, if you're in your junior years, to work with some of us who can help you crystallize the question and so on. I honestly have benefited from working with some of you who have introduced me to some of these researchers, and we have done a great deal of work with them, and we're getting work published. And there are programs, there are research electives that are well designed. You can look them up on the websites of major universities. A lot of people like to do clinical electives during their summer years, but research electives are just as lucrative on your CV. A lot of people like to do clinical electives during their summer years, but research electives are just as lucrative on your CV. One of your colleagues introduced me to this NIH-funded research fellowship that he may embark on doing. One of your colleagues introduced me to this NIH-funded research fellowship that he may embark on doing. Another way to enhance your chances of doing international research is to get money. If there are funds, everyone is going to get interested in working with you. So try to work with us and apply for grants, either from the university directly or from things like King Abdulaziz City of Science and Technology. So try to work with us and apply for grants, either from the university directly or from things like King Abdulaziz City of Science and Technology. KSA, for example, is another venue where you can apply for grants. And if you have grants, then people will want to work with you. Al-Waqf Al-Ilmi is another place where you can get a grant and you get people interested. We have done that. Medina Al-Malika Al-Tibbiya for Riyadh is another place that I've been working with. الوقف العلمي is another place where you can get a grant and you get people interested. We have done that. مدينة الملك فهد الطبية في الرياض is another place that I've been working with. So oftentimes local collaboration is the best way to international collaboration, and money always helps. So oftentimes local collaboration is the best way to international collaboration, and money always helps. على سيرة كاوست, obviously there's a lot of international researchers there. ما عندهم medical school, but they're interested in medical research. So if you log in and get to know the labs at KAUST and contact some of these people with ideas, they may well invite you there. So in some, local researchers working with international researchers, summer research electives, getting grant monies, working with international researchers who are adjunct professors. Of course, you have to attend conferences and present your work at conferences, and you'll meet people there, and if you present well, people will want to work with you. So conferences in the States and in Europe and in elsewhere other than locally are important. So take your work abroad, discuss it with people, stand by your poster, answer questions, come up with ideas, ask for chances. And one thing I'd like to mention is that you have to be succinct, crystallized, and clear. Interest alone and enthusiasm is not sufficient. You have to give it some thought and crystallize your thoughts. Clear research question, clear research ideas, focus. And English is important. Keep your sentences simple and clear, and use vocabulary that you know and structure that you're comfortable with. When you write an email, syntax, grammar, and spelling are crucial. If your email contains spelling mistakes, you're shooting yourself in the foot. And whenever you're thinking of an idea that you want to have appeal to researchers, think of things that are of international interest, but are also of interest locally. بما معناه, people would be interested in culturally specific issues to our region, either related to genetics, to culture, specific symptoms or signs or risk factors for a certain entity in our region that would lead to insight. And I'm sure that people with your smarts and your skills and your abilities are going to be able to get anyone interested in getting research done with you. These are the thoughts I have in mind for today. يعطيكم العافية. إذا في أي تساؤلات, please interact with me either email or Twitter.